Hey everyone, this is Selene Give Tarot here with another pick a card reading. I just realized how big my hands look here. So I'm trying something new here with this setup and I really don't like it. But because it took me so goddamn long to put it together, we're going to use it. Alright, so I decided to do a reading on it's kind of like we're in the middle of the month. There's been a lot of stuff going on, so I wanted to do like a positive reading. So I was thinking about doing a reading on what do people love about you? What are the great attributes in your character that people really look at you and say, gosh, I just love that about that person. Sometimes we need some feel good, encouragement, especially these days. So why not, right? And I got some new decks, which I'm really excited about. So this deck right here, well, first of all, if you're new to my channel, I do want to let you know that I do just pick a card readings. Sometimes I get inspired to do a reading on just like one subject, but most of the time, I just do pick a card readings. I try to, I have a job that takes up a lot of my time. Little bambinos also take up my time, so I don't upload as much as I want to, but I do thoroughly enjoy doing tarot readings. So I hope you welcome if this is your first time. Let's see, I would say that I'm definitely an empath and I have intuitive abilities, and tarot is something that I really enjoyed doing lately. I taught myself tarot probably about a year ago, but it's really taken off. It's something that I do every day. It's something that I really enjoy, and it's become I look at it as a tool in your life, just kind of something in your toolbox to get you along. It's not something that I would strictly live my life by, because there's always things like free will, right, and things that can get in the way of whatever the cards do tell you. But nonetheless, it's thoroughly entertaining, if anything. If you're here to be entertained, I hope you are. And then if you pick your deck, I don't know if you have done this before, but I figure I should explain it because I had some comments that seemed like people were a little confused about it. Basically what you would do with the pick a card reading is I have 3 decks here. I have a red jasper, I have this is rose quartz, and I also have a clear quartz crystal here. Okay, so take a moment. What I usually ask is that you pause the video, pick the deck or the stone or whatever calls to you. Take some deep breaths before you do that, and really try to be guided to what deck you should pick. You're welcome to pick another deck if one doesn't resonate with you. It seems like sexuality is a big issue with tarot. It seems like some people really either feel like there definitely is masculine and feminine, man and woman in tarot. I really don't, because tarot talks about energy and vibration. It talks about more higher level of thinking, like an emotional intelligence. I feel like that does not, there are no gender constraints to that. So personally here, if you do feel like that doesn't resonate with you, or that's not something that you believe in, feel free to find another channel to watch. There's tons of them on here on YouTube. Okay, so like and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to grow it. It's brand spanking new. Okay, so now to the good stuff. These are the 3 decks, like I said, red jasper, rose quartz, and clear quartz. This deck here is a brand new deck that I got. You can't see that well because of the light here, but I'm just tilting it so you can see what the back of the cards look like. And this deck is called Tarot of Dreams by, I'm probably going to butcher this name, Chiro Marchettis. He has a couple of decks. He's got more than a couple of decks. This is the way let's see, this is the box it comes in. And there's that. I've really fallen in love with this. If you want to learn tarot, this is a great deck, because not only does it have tarot, I'll just show some of the cards here. It has some astrological signs as well here in the corner. So if you do want to also learn that, this is a great deck to do that simultaneously. The second deck I got is this I've never used before, but it's called the Everyday Enchantment Tarot, and I just loved the art. This is by Poppy Palin, and this is this big old box it came in, and yeah, the book is rather large too, which see comes with the book with instructions and just kind of guidance on where this deck is trying to point to as far as what it's about. And then lastly, my favorite, one of my favorites, I have a good friend of mine, we work together, so I call her my work wife, got me the Tattoo Tarot deck, which is absolutely beautiful. It's called Ink and Intuition, and Mega Munden makes it? I don't know, I'm probably wrong about that. Okay, so that's that. And then I have a couple of Oracle decks I was thinking would be nice to use. I have the Heal Yourself, let's see, yeah, Heal Yourself reading cards, which are really nice since we're doing love. Gotta love yourself. So I'll pull a card for each deck. I'll pull one of those. And then the last one I have here is the Elemental Oracle deck, which is really cool. This deck it really ties in alchemy, science, and magic. I don't do magic, but some people do. But it's about the universe. It's about magic, about just the fascinating things, the elements that are on our planet that really embody a lot of I think character attributes that we can have too, and even attitudes about going after life in a certain way. So yeah, okay, so we're gonna do that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start. I'm going to start with pile 1. Okay, pile 1, you're the one that picked the red jasper. All right, let's see what we got here for you. Why are you so lovable? What do people love about you? What are some great things about your character that really make you lovable, some feel-good stuff here. So I'm just going to go ahead and shuffle the deck. I really love this deck. It's nice and slippery, and it's pretty strong, actually. It's not for weak hands. It's not for weak hands. I will mention I do use cuss words. If that doesn't float your boat, feel free to find, like I said, another channel to watch. But I'm pretty frank, and we'll use cuss words as, punctuation. Okay, so let's see. What do people find lovable about pile 1, Spirit? Pile 1. What do people find lovable about pile 1? I like to take jumpers out of the deck. Sometimes that doesn't happen though. Sometimes they're more like want to stick out, So let's see here. Okay, that wanted to come out. That one wanted to come out. And one more. There we go. All right. Let's see. All right, so we have, oh wow. Okay, pile 1. Ooh, pile 1. Okay. So right off the bat, pile 1, you are a strong person. You definitely, I think one of the first things I feel about these cards describing you is you are not only a strong person, but you are also humble. You also have the ability to do both. You can be strong when you need to. You can be thoughtful when you need to. Contemplate, decisions that need to be made in a very calm, powerful way. And you also do not back down from opposition. You're not somebody that, when things get tough, I say that because we got the 7 of Wands here, right? So when things get tough, I mean, look at that guy. He's backed up into a corner with the wands, people charging at him, but he does not look intimidated. So your spirit definitely speaks of strength. It speaks of perseverance. It speaks of, not surrendering to things when things get tough, not having a pity party when things are getting hard, when the hill starts going up and it's not down and easy. You buckle down and say, let's do it, and you just move forward. When you make a decision about going in a direction, you can't be deterred. And that is a character attribute that I will say is rare, I think. A lot of people out there do a lot of extraordinary things. Like when you think about athletes and people who train for years in music. There's so many different things that takes a lot of mental strength. And I am personally always in awe when I see someone perform music, or when I see someone with a special gift or something they've worked very hard for just completely excel at it. It is so extraordinary. So having that kind of character attribute is something that I think people do respect and love about you. And I think people who are close to you in your family, either family or close friends, especially love that about you. They know that if they needed someone in their corner, you would be the one to help them. If they needed help to figure out how to get through something that was difficult, you would have that advice. Which brings me to the second card, which is the Hanging Man. It looks like this person is upside down, but nope, upside down. He is upside down. Hello, Hanging Man. But it looks like it, I don't know, to me, when I look at this card, this looks right, correct? But no, it's supposed to be upside down is what I wanted to say. Okay, now this is a really, I've learned a lot about this card with this deck, with the way they explain it. In this deck, typically it's a guy who's, well dressed, who is hanging from a tree, and he has a halo around his head to indicate, intuition and introspective thinking, taking time out to just take a survey of what's in front of him to make a decision about how to move forward. Some people say it's a card of stalemate, where you're not moving at all. And I've learned to disagree with that opinion, and just so tarot is very, it can be very literal, but it also isn't, intuitive, right? So when I look at this card, I see this man who's naked, all right, vulnerable to all the elements that are around him. He's not covered, he's not caring about what is showing. He's bald, which also in a lot of traditions shows vulnerability. Sometimes it shows, in some cultures, it can be, a sign of mourning, right? Of just, or not necessarily mourning, but like a transition in your life, right? Going from one spot to another. I'm sure that I don't even know if there is a tradition like this, but imagining like in some cultures when you get married, if you were to shave your head because you're getting married, like for a man, it's a transition from a boy to a man kind of thing, right? So he's got his head bald there too. So I really think that this speaks to vulnerability, emotional vulnerability, and being open to what is before you, and being open to being receptive to any possible direction that you can go. When you think of people who, or I shouldn't say people, but attitudes of being very narrow-minded, not being open to maybe a direction that you need to go that might be uncomfortable, right? But it might really bring you spiritual benefits that you didn't expect. Inner strength that you didn't expect, inner knowing that you didn't expect. So, or even enlightenment where you're like, holy shit, I was wrong the whole time. This is the other direction I need to go in. The other thing too, so I don't think that you can really see it very well in the camera, but there's tattoos down his body, and the tattoos are like suns, moons, kind of like all elements. So it's really just a very cohesive way of looking at things, like I said, not narrow-minded. So that, I mean, these two things in itself are pretty extraordinary. So you're definitely somebody that has a strong character, and having that strong character, being charismatic, I think definitely is a huge reason why people love you. I would love someone like that. I mean, those are great characteristics, you know. Being loved, you know, isn't, you know, like sometimes when I was thinking, actually, not really sometimes, I'm sorry, by the way, I work my night shift, so if I start using words that don't make sense, it's because I'm tired. But when I think about this, and I think about, you know, for example, people I work with, or actually, since I work so much, I'm going to use that as an example. You know, you wouldn't say that, oh, someone being strong headed about what they do is something that's lovable, or somebody who is willing to do introspective thought and maybe, you know, about their direction, and take time about where they're going to go and what direction they're going to take, and then taking that, you know, you wouldn't say, oh, that's a lovable characteristic. I work in medicine. That is a very lovable characteristic, because medicine is fucking hard, especially lately, right? So in that way, definitely these are things that people would love about you. So people who are close to you, like your soul family, people who are your friends, you know, people who you hold dear to your heart, love these things about you, because these are such unique qualities that make you who you are. And then lastly, we have the Seven of Coins. Now, I like this card the way they really explain it. You know, the Seven of Coins in regular tarot, if I remember correctly, typically is somebody who is, you know, working towards something. I might be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is, because I know the Eight of Coins can, you know, this is what's wrong with doing tarot readings after your night shift, okay? So just have some grace with me here. But specifically about the Seven of Coins, this woman is sitting, and she has been growing this tree, and it has been bearing its fruit. As you can see, those are all coins. And she's got her little doggy there. And she's got this, look at this, like, very piercing kind of eye, you know, the way she's looking at you. And, you know, pretty much she's contemplating something. She's like, you know, she's got all of this abundance in front of her. Now, what do you do with it, right? Like, imagine if this was a huge tree of apples. Do you make apple pie? Do you make applesauce? Do you make apple jam? You know, what direction, you know, do you want to go in? You know, now that you have worked so very hard for the fruits of your labor. And so when I look at this card and combine it with, you know, the Hanging Man and the Seven of Wands, you know, as far as numerology is concerned, it is very interesting to me that you have both two sevens here. Yeah, two sevens and I think that's a 12. Taking these cards all together, I think another thing that people really love about you is that you're open to other people's opinion. You're not somebody that is going to sit there with all of this, you know, let's say you worked really hard for something and you're not sure about the direction that you should go in. You're not somebody who's prideful and arrogant to not ask someone's advice. Hey, what do you think? What do you think about this? So I've been thinking a long time about this direction I want to go in my business, and you've been, you know, very good at business. What do you think, right? Not being so arrogant that you can't say, hey, somebody might have a better idea. That is a huge lovable quality. That's humility. You know, that's, again, something that's pretty rare and fucking amazing, especially when you add it together with strength, with intuition, spiritual strength, and then you've got humility here. So you're pile one, you're pretty extraordinary, and a lot of people love these characteristics about you. And I, you know, would say keep going, keep doing what you're doing, keep being the beautiful person that you are, and keep shining, because these are characteristics that are so rare, and very much needed in this world right now, for sure. So I'm gonna do a little oracle card here from the Elemental Oracle for you. Okay, what's another attribute element. What element would you associate pile 1 with? Element for pile 1. Whoa, you got, whoa. All right, we'll do a quickie here because these kind of can be long, but you got 3. So I'm going to take them. All right. You've got the desert. Oh, look at these cards. Beautiful. Desert. Plants. Look at that. It's beautiful. And the south. Look at that. Oh, the galaxy and space. All right. So let me look in the book really quick and let's see what these mean here. So desert is number 13. The element here in desert is fire. Okay, so there's a difference between being alone or being solitary. Being alone and feeling confident to spend time alone is powerful. You do not need so much work on developing simplicity. There is more to life than accumulating objects. You can be resilient and apt to difficult circumstances, which, well, hello, really goes along with adapting to difficult circumstances with the 7 of Wands. Yeah, it just confirms, you know, your fire. You've got that fire in you. You have the endurance to withstand something like the desert, you know. One of the things it mentions here is that people who live in the deserts have traditionally been nomadic, moving with their prey or where food may be. These people only take what they need and they carry only what is necessary, but often have rich cultural and spiritual lives. I think that definitely embodies you with the 7 of Wands. The second one we have here is plants. And plants is number 19. All right. Plants represent growth. Magic is in everyday things. You can make something from nothing. Blossom. It's time. From the small things to big things, they might grow and begin it. So, the element of this card is earth, which is so interesting that it came out with the Hanging Man. We're talking about like spiritual growth, right? It's pretty amazing when you think about plants and about how many different varieties there are. Some grow fast, some grow small, some are colorful, some are poisonous, some are meant for food, and some are meant to heal. So you have the ability to be intuitive because you're so in tune with your own spirituality, because you take this time out to do that introspective thinking, in order to adapt to what you need to adapt to. They always say, like, that rose that grows through concrete, plants will grow wherever they possibly can. They definitely don't need perfect soil. I mean, I'm sure some do. But yeah, they're able to really adapt to their environment. Okay, so the last one we have here is 2. That one is south. So let's see what it says about south. So south represents adventure, and it is the element also of fire. Take a risk, but an educated one. Do or see something you haven't before, as experiencing something new will help you clear your mind and give you wonder to your heart. Look carefully at your plan. Something may be amiss, and the situation may have a happy medium. It is not all or nothing. Wow. Okay, so interesting to be open to different things, not all or nothing. Taking a risk, having some adventure. And there is adventure, right? And taking a risk when you are asking other people about their opinions about things, especially when it comes to things that you hold really dear to your heart, that you're like afraid, like, let's say you really want to always wanted to move to San Francisco, right? But you've had all these fears that have held you back, and then you ask a few people that you really value their opinion. They're like, what the fuck are you waiting for? Go for it. You've always wanted to go there since you were a baby. Go. It's a scary advice, but you can't deny it, because you were open to asking, and it's going to open the door for adventure. What a beautiful reading. Pile 1, you are absolutely an extraordinary person. Make sure you do something today to really love yourself, okay? Be gentle with yourself. Be gracious with yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. Make sure that you take time to reflect about these beautiful things about yourself, and feel good about how you've persevered, and take the day to enjoy, okay? I hope you have a good weekend. All right, thanks. Okay, so pile 2. Hello, pile 2. You did the rose quartz, right? All right, so this deck here, let me tell you about this deck. This deck is hard to shuffle. It is a big deck, so I'm going to try different ways to make this happen here, but it is not an easy deck to shuffle. Let's see. So if you have small hands, this is not your deck, all right? Because I have rather big hands, so for a lady. All right, let's see. Pile 2. What is so beautiful and lovable about you? Okay, let's see what cards can come out here. There's lovable about pile 2, Spirit. Okay, let's see now. These came out. How many do we have here? I don't think we meant to take all of those out. Let's see. Okay, you get 4. Alright, you get 4 of these cards. These cards are pretty cool, I have to say. Alright, and it's funny because, the pile 1, I intended to do 2 oracle cards, but I ended up doing 1, which I find interesting. So we'll see which oracle deck you get for pile 2, okay? Alright. Let's see here. So we have 2 of coins, Ace of blades, Five of wands, and Knight of blades. Oh, okay. All right, give me 1 second here. Okay, right off the bat, I feel like you, pile 2, you're the life of the party. People love hanging out with you. They think that you are just fucking, they just love being around you. You always have a positive outlook. When you're coming around to hang out, you're the one that, tries to vibe everybody up, so that, like, I picture, like, well, I'm not going to age myself. Back in the day, they used to have house parties. They don't have those anymore, I don't think, anyway. But, people, playing music, and you got the little wallflowers, people just standing on the wall, they're not dancing and stuff. I imagine you to be somebody that just walks in the room and then the party starts, right? People start, the best song comes on, the DJ starts playing, and people start dancing, and you start encouraging people to, get out of their funk. And I think that's what people love about you. This is the two of coins. Now, typically the 2 of coins speaks about balance, right? You have this waiter here, and he's got, 2 dishes there that he's trying to keep balance. But look at the smile on his face, and look at people watching him balance those huge dishes. They're not worried about him dropping. They're actually pretty entertained that he's doing that. So yeah, you're definitely somebody that walks in and, you know, you charm everyone. And that's something that everyone really, really likes about you. You might have things going on in your life that might be challenging, but you finesse it and you make it seem like it's effortless. And people love how you're able to do that. That's something that a lot of people wish they could do. I wish I could do that. And then you have the Ace of Blades. Okay, which would be the Ace of Swords. Okay, so if you see this is, you know, a surgery scene. Okay, a vet surgery scene. Okay, now I don't know if you can see this here. So I think that you know, okay, can you see this little, I don't know what the hell that is, a little like fairy or nymph or something, watching over the little dog, making sure it's okay, while these highly intelligent surgeons are trying to fix the doggy. All right. So when I think about things that what people love about you looking at this card is that, number one, you have a huge affection for animals, and secondly, you take a lot of time to care for your animals, and that's something that people really really think that is admirable and lovable about you. And you're smart. You're somebody that you know, not just about animals. You actually are very intelligent. Not only do you like to have fun, but you also like to read. You also perhaps maybe TED Talks, maybe you like to discover different subjects that maybe might not be you know, typical. And so, you know, the combination of the, you know, soft, compassionate heart of loving animals, but then also being very intellectual is very appealing to people. They really think that's a beautiful character that you have, or a character attribute that you have. So you like to have fun. You have this beautiful kind of, it's not yin and yang, but it's definitely like a, you know, opposite kind of thing that fits, where you have, you're intellectual, but you're also very compassionate and loving, and you have a lot of empathy for animals and for people. And then here, this card typically in tarot, the Five of Wands, it usually depicts like, you know, disarray, fighting, just discourse, you know, people not getting along, you know. But what I felt when I looked at this card was actually like, it reminded me of, never mind these people. I didn't realize how that, I don't know what the hell he's doing there with an umbrella. I guess it's windy. All right. Anyway. You know, when you were a little kid, I know for me, I grew up in Detroit, and you know, when it was a real hot day, they would open up the fire hydrants, and it was like, man, as soon as you heard that the fire hydrant was open, you had like, you know, I mean, I don't know, 30, 50 kids coming all to one cul-de-sac or one area to get into that water. And it was just chaos, you know. So it makes me feel like, you know, the summer chaos of like the sprinklers came on and everybody's running through it, or, you know, you're going to play swords with your wands here and go back and forth, and dad jumps in, you know, or your uncle jumps in, and it's funny because, you know, you're not used to seeing your uncle play like that. So it makes me think of those joyous kind of like reminiscent times when you were younger. And so you have a very childlike attitude when it comes to certain things. You're not afraid to, you know, on a hot day run through, for example, someone's lawn just so you can get wet because you're hot. You know, you don't care what people think, you know, about you that you're doing that. You're just simply enjoying the beautiful things about life, right? You know, taking time to enjoy those simple things that some people take for granted. You know, some people walk around life with blinders. You know, they don't open their eyes and smell the roses, and, you know, decide to just really taste life, right? Taste it with your mouth. You know, go and, you know, visit your nieces and nephews, or with your kid, get on the floor and wrestle with them, even though they think that you're so prim and proper usually, but you're like, forget it. Or you go play in the mud with your kid and make mud pies, or you go, you know, run with your kids after the ice cream truck. You know, it's just something kind of spontaneous because you just simply enjoy life. So yeah, that's definitely something that people love about you. And then lastly, this is a funny scene, I have to say, because, okay, it is a kind of a more modern take on this card. The Knight of Blades would be the, you know, the Knight of Swords. So you got this guy, you have this haircut guy, hairdresser, like pretty much saying, you know, fuck yeah, we're gonna get your hair done, you're gonna look fucking amazing, blah blah blah, and she does not look very happy about it. So, and you see that little nymph? Look at that. She's kind of like, she's got a little, what is she doing there to his head? I think she's touching his head. His head's a little red. So, I think that you can have you're prone to emotional outbursts, you know? So, like, for example, I think of, like, let's say you enjoy sports and you're watching your favorite team play. You'd be the one that stands up in the middle of the room and says, fuck yeah, because they scored or whatever, and people are going to look at you like, what the fuck is wrong with that guy? But you don't care, because, you know, you fit footloose and fancy free and living your life, you know, you don't care, you know. So you're definitely somebody that does not care about what other people think about them. And I think that definitely that's something that people love about you. Now, granted, in this picture, I would want my hairdresser to care about what I thought. So I think that's pretty ironic picture there to describe that. But yeah, I think that definitely, you know, people are pretty surprised about how you take chances on things. If you feel in the moment you want to go for a hike, you go. If you feel for, you know, the moment you want to, like, let's see, I'm having a blank about just different things that, you know, just enjoying life, just you know, being very childlike, you know. It makes me think of that song, I came in like a wrecking ball. Oh, I can't sing, but you know, that Miley Cyrus song, like that, like you approach life, things that you enjoy that way. You just, you know, reckless abandon. Thank you, Spirit. That's the word I was trying to look for. So you're very multi-dimensional, pile 2. You have a lot of things that are beautiful that people really, really love about you, especially people who are close to you, your close friends and your family. So beautiful. Okay, so let's use this deck. Let's use the Heal Yourself deck. Oh, there's the book. Let's see what cards you get from here. Ay. Mayday, dropping cards everywhere. Excuse me. There we go. Get my shit together. Gotta get my shit together here. Alright. Spirit. There are things that people doesn't attribute that pile 2 should love about themselves. What is an attribute that pile 2 should love about themselves? Let's see. Oh, that one looked like it wanted to come out. Ooh, look at that. Courage. Let's do one more card. There. Whoop-ah. Alright, well, we can't take all of these. Alright, we'll take that one. Alright. So you've got... Ooh. Okay, so you've got courage. She's like, ooh, my knight in shining armor. He's like, where are the werewolves? I will protect you. And then you got home. Look at that. She seems a little melancholy. Alright, so let's see what we got going on here about what you should take time to love yourself about, or what do people love about you. Okay, so this card speaks about courage. Courage requires you to fearlessly strive ahead despite the challenges that you are experiencing. Every blessing has a challenge, and every challenge contains a blessing, and you are ready to explore both. While there may be difficult moments ahead, be positive and believe everything is going to work out for your absolute best. You are being asked to gather the courage to be who you truly are and to stand strong for your convictions. Wow. Huh. You know, that makes me think that I bet you, you know, now this might be an assumption, you let me know in the comments, but if you've got such a very strong character here and so many different aspects of it, I wonder if sometimes you're insecure about how you are. Like if you have that outburst, you're like, fuck, I did it again, or I went out and I went out drinking with my friends and spent too much money, but you were being generous, or, I adopted another dog. People probably think I'm weird, I think this card is just saying, go out there and be yourself, stand strong in your convictions about who you are, because people love you. If people are criticizing you, it's because they wish they had those attributes, they wish they had those things in their character. When people are nasty and jealous, that's because that's their problem, is that they're like wishing they could be that way and they can't. So they criticize, unfortunately. Okay, so last but not least, we have 35. We got home. All right, let's see what that says. Okay. For some of us, home was an amazing, empowering, and happy place. But for some of us, it was lacking. There was unease and hurt. And this is imprinted in your nervous system, which forces the dysfunction you had with your parents to rise to the surface with your current partner and the people that you're close to. This card honors the wounded child in you to keep recreating home. Hoping to get your childhood development, codependency needs met, you might even provoke the other to act or look like your original parent. Wow, this is really deep. So, what made me think of this, how this connects to you, pile 2, is that I thought a lot about Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey, the comedian, talks a lot about how when he was a child, his parents actually were pretty rigid, and he felt like his dad, was super hilarious, but he never showed anyone that he was hilarious. His dad kept a straight face, and he thought, man, if his dad was born during his time, his dad would have been the best comedian there was. But instead, his dad just worked a job, came home every day and raised his kids, and that was all he did for his life, And so for Jim Carrey, that's a painful memory for him. And I know I enjoy watching comedy, and it seems like a common theme in a lot of their childhoods, if that's even a word, is that some of them were starving for affection. Some of them were wishing that they had the attention of their loved one or their parent or their guardian or grandparent, and so they would act funny, and because they got all that positive attention, they just took off with it and became comedians. But it came from a place of hurt. So if you have this in your background, not to bring it down to a negative vibe here, I'm actually coming back around with this and saying that when you go through difficult times and you develop this very multi-dimensional character, that this is something you should be proud of, because this is something that not everyone gets to have. And it speaks a lot to your strength. It speaks a lot to your perseverance. And those are all qualities that people want. People wish they had. And now, granted, you did have to go through some things in order to develop this. But remind yourself that you didn't have to develop these things, right? You could have just stayed bitter. You could have just not choose not to grow or to learn anything. Fuck it. Be bitter. Fuck my family, they weren't there for me. But instead, you decided to say, I am gonna fucking enjoy life, and everyone else can kiss my fucking ass. And you know what? That is a good attitude to have, especially when you have this strong of a character. You cannot waste your time at caring about what other people think. People love you the way you are, and embrace it. Embrace it, love it, celebrate it, because the ones that are really there for you will celebrate you too. Okay, pile 2, I know that it was kind of like a light and dark type reading, but I really hope that this encouraged you, and I wish you the best. And if this resonated with you, please leave a comment. I'd love to hear it, and subscribe to my channel. There might be other videos that you would love to hear. All right, you take care. Bye. Okay, last but not least, we have pile 3, clear quartz. Isn't that pretty? I just think it's so pretty. Anyway, alright. You got the Tattoo Tarot, so maybe you have tattoos. That's my I don't know what that is. What is that? New Rican, Puerto Rican? I don't know what that is, but you know, sometimes I talk like that, you know, when I feel silly and I'm tired, like I am right now. I don't know if you listened to the beginning, but I work night shifts and stuff, so my voice is scratchy and I can't enunciate my words, but yet I am doing my best. Alright, y'all, let's see. What's lovable about pile 3? What's lovable about pile 3? What do people love about pile 3? What do people love about, can you see me shuffle? Some people really enjoy seeing the shuffle. I do when I watch other tarot readers. What do people love about pile 3, Spirit? What do people love about pile 3? Pile 3? Are you a private person? There we go. This one was sticking out too. Alright, give me a couple more cards, Spirit. What do people read? Oh, there we go. I don't read reversals, by the way. Let's do one more card. One more card. Oh, beautiful. Okay. Oh, I love this deck. Okay. So, oh, bonus. There's another one. Okay. So, wow. Okay. 1 second here. Well, let's see. As a side note, if you're into numerology, we have 3 of Cups, 3 of Swords, 6 of Coins. So 3, 3, 3, 3. See what that angel number is for you. All right. So right off the bat, I'm feeling like, I'm wondering if there are a bunch of Scorpios watching this. Maybe water signs, maybe Scorpio, Pisces, maybe even Cancer watching this reading for pile 3. You know, something that people really love about you is that you're generous. All right, you're somebody that if you have something extra to give to somebody, you do not keep it for yourself. You know, if you know, let's say you got came into extra money, or you know, you were ahead of your bills and you had a friend that needed some money, you would let them borrow it. You probably wouldn't even ask for it back. You know, you're somebody that but you're not dumb about it. You know, you're not like careless about it or reckless about it, but you definitely are someone who's generous, and people really, really appreciate that about you. That is a beautiful quality to have. You know, it takes empathy to have generosity in your heart, and that is something that people really, really love about you. The other thing too is that you love to have a good time. You know, 3 Cups represents celebration, drinking, having a good time, knowing where the party is, you know, not having a care of the world, a care for the world, or a care for the world. See, I told you about my words. You know what I'm saying. A care in the world. Jeez. Anyway. So yes, people definitely love that about you. So you're, you know, not only are you generous, but you love to have a good damn time. So I bet you, let me say, if me and you knew each other, I'd be like, so, hey, you gonna take me to the bar? Because I bet you're gonna buy me some drinks because you're generous. Anyway, but yes, that's definitely 2 qualities there that people really love about you, and those are good qualities to have. You know, I've been out with people before, and they're like wet blankets. You're like, why did you even get dressed and come out if you were going to be just Debbie Downer or Dennis Downer or whatever? The other thing that people love about you is that you're well-traveled. You're somebody that loves to travel, or you're cultured. So you've either educated yourself a lot about other people's cultures, or you have traveled a lot, and you have a lot of beautiful things that you share in conversation, experiences that you've had. If someone was going to want to travel to like a different country that they've never been to, they would want you as their guide. You definitely love different cultures, and you love any chance you get to travel, you go for it. Now, I know these days that's a little rough to do with the pandemic and everything, so that must probably has been pretty hard on you, actually. But there is hope on the horizon for that, right? So you are generous. You are the life of the party. You love and enjoy yourself, going out, enjoying your friends, your family. You love traveling. Those are 3 things that people really love about you. And then when I was saying that you were Scorpio or Pisces, you also have this kind of like, you have like these positive attributes right here, right? These, very external, public type, characteristics. And then you have this quiet, somber, a bit melancholy side to you. So you're not afraid to show when you're sad. You're not afraid to express yourself when you're just having a really fucked up day. When things are just not going right, and or you had a breakup and someone asks you how you're doing, you're gonna say, I'm doing pretty shitty, actually. Like, you're not gonna really sugarcoat things. You would be the one that doesn't answer their phone for 3 days because you just frankly just feel like being in bed for 3 days and just licking your wounds and being sad about things, Along with that, though, even though you have this kind of, this in your character here, you also have the ability to work through this pain. So when you do go through pain, you're not somebody that stays in that dark place of having like a pity party or something. You're not somebody that stays there. You're somebody that will go there. You feel the feelings, you acknowledge them, and you sit with it, but you also do introspective thinking. Okay, you're not afraid to sit with it and contemplate it, and gain new understanding about it. Like you see here, she's got these stars, and then the biggest star is right by her head. And stars can represent epiphanies, new thoughts and ideas. She also has the water here, so this is tied to emotion. It's not, in some cards the moon is in the background, but of course not this card. But so, when you think of water, I think of reflection, I think of emotion, but she's working through that. She's finding balance in that and gaining epiphanies. So you have this beautiful, complex, dark side to you that people really love. And that's an important thing to have, because, life isn't all fucking daisies and rainbows, right? I mean, we have bad days and we have good days. So you have the ability to, people love that you're honest about all of that. You're not a fake person. You're not someone that puts on a good face because you care too much about what people think about you. You're somebody that is straight up and honest about when you're having a bad day. And not only that, you don't just sit there and have a bad day and then let it make you bitter. You actually work through it to gain new understanding, to gain balance. You let yourself feel those emotions. All right, that is beautiful. I love it's almost like a yin and yang, right? It's almost like a light and dark attribute in your character, and I think that's the most beautiful. And maybe because I resonate with that a little bit, I feel like for myself, I have that type of personality. But let's go ahead and get some elemental oracle cards here out for you and see what element do you resonate with. What is an element that really resonates with your character and something that people love about you? Okay, so let's see how many cards here for pile 3. Okay. Ooh. See? Mira. Look how this matches. Watch. You see? And people, the cards don't lie. Universe knows what this is doing. Spirit knows. Okay. So remember I told you about these 3, right? So you have the sun is one element, right? And you got wind as the other element. All right. So let's see what these, let's see what the book says about these 2 elements. So So we've got the sun. The element, of course, is fire, and the attribute is light. All right. Be grateful for what you have right now. Every day brings new possibilities and opportunities. Concentrate on building your vitality and health. Shine a strong light upon dark corners. Honesty and transparency are vital at this time. So you're definitely like the sun. Sorry, that probably got you dizzy. You're like the sun, right? You can be explosive, but you've got that slow burning heat as well, right? You could be as forceful and fast as the Chariot, okay, which is that card. You could be sitting and having drinks and relaxing as well, you know, and you're very, very generous. So these are very light and positive attributes that you have in your character. So you are sunlight to people who love you and know you. You are you bring that sunshine to their life, that light, that vibrance, that, you know, lust for life. You represent that. And along with that, you have this other beautiful side to you. And we have the wind here, which is number 24. Okay, so we have wind here. Isn't this beautiful? Look at her. She's just, it almost reminds me of the Wizard of Oz, the tornado. Okay, so wind, it represents change, and the element is air. Resisting change is useless. Be prepared for change in direction. You have been warned of change, so believe it. Ooh, that's simple. Something else that it says here. Here we go. It says winds have been signifiers of change for millennia. Depending where you stand, you can face them, use them, or resist them. Face them, use them, or resist them. Really just speaks a lot. It reminds me of the star card, right? You know, you have the, you know, the heartache that perhaps you might go through, or disappointment that you go through, and you have this decision, right? This is like that middle ground, right, where you're still feeling all of the feelings here. You're still having all this emotion. You're still weighing out what has happened and how you're going to move forward. But this wind card says that you have the ability to decide whether you're going to stand, you're going to take ground, take cover, or go with it. You know, so you've got a very complex side to your character there that people really do love. And especially, I think that this side right here, only people who are really close to you can probably really appreciate this about you. I think that this sun, you know, being social and generous and traveling and all of that, you know, I think really speaks to maybe your more public personality. And this is people who know you deeply. You let them in to see this other side of you, and that's something that's absolutely precious and beautiful that they love about you. So I really wish you the best, pile 3. This was really, really fun reading. I'll try to do more. If you like it, please like and comment. Subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to grow my channel. I don't have any, people are not following me. How sad. But you know what? I don't care. You know why? Because I'm doing this because I enjoy it. I'm not doing it to get a lot of subscriptions or anything like that. But, you know, I do have to say that's how YouTube goes. You subscribe and, you know, comment and do all that jazz, all right? But, yes, so if you enjoyed it, please follow me. I'm going to try to put out more videos. I'm still, like, you know, if you see some of my other videos, they're more darker and a little cluttered. I'm trying to make it a little bit more pleasant. So if you like this setup, let me know in the comments too, all right? But I wish you all the best. Please take care, love yourself, be gracious with yourself, have grace, do something just for you today, all right? Not for anybody else, just for you. I don't care what it is. Just go do something for you, okay? Because you're very, very, very loved. Take care. Wish you the best. Bye, everybody.